Once upon a time, two men decided if they were making the cut. And then they made the cut. And now JT and Aaron are talking everything from wrestling to pop culture and beyond. Because it's no holds barred.
Will you back down, turn and run? Or stand up with the best? When you're back to the wall, what will your answer be? Will you run for the door? Will you run out on me like it's hard?
It's no holds barred. You ready for the Survivor Series? Was your mind fucking blown when you saw the clip of Jimmy Garvin being the one that said that?
Yes. What
Right?
on earth is that?
Right? It does not register at all when you see it. You're like, wait a minute. No.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
He's not saying yeah after it, so I didn't recognize it at all.
It's so crazy that's him. It's always weird when you hear, like, I was watching, I think it's Rumble 91, where Duggan, I think he said it a lot, so I don't know if this is the one where he says, you get the hair standing to the back of your neck, the blood is pumping through your vein, whatever it is that's in the song from the WrestleMania, the album. Yeah, so that was like, when you hear the lines in those, it's like,
you know what my favorite of those is the promo before Hulk fights Yoko at King of the Ring.
yes.
Where he's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins.
Yes, he says the words, yes.
He just says
Jimmy
the
definitely Jimmy put that in his head for later when he was writing American Made. He's like, well, I'm gonna save this baby. It's gonna come in handy
my
someday.
question with that, do you think he was riffing, and as he was riffing, he's like, wait a minute.
I think so. I think something's stored in his head where he's like, okay, I'm gonna this is working for it worked for me, baby.
I want to find the clip where Lex Luger is like talking. He's like, look, he does this, he does that. He's strong as an I want to find that somewhere.
Quick as a cat. And then he gave it to Lee Marshall. Lee Marshall sang it. But no, the Jimmy Garvin one is crazy. Like when that surfaced, it was like, because it's not even like a real thing. It wasn't like a test run. It wasn't even like anything that ever aired. It was crazy that's what they used for a song about WrestleMania. They pulled out some Jimmy Garvin clip that never aired.
That was the best thing they had.
It's so random. It's the most random thing ever. But anyway, it is Survivor Series month. And we decided, Aaron, it was time to bring back a little draft festivity to No Holds Barred. So this is going to happen once a month.
I'm wearing my hockey gear in recognition of that.
Okay. And we're just going to be, it's going to be me and you. We're going to do a much looser, I guess, draft between me and you. We're going to pick simple topics, and we're just going to kind of trade picks back and forth and build individual lists as we go. So if you think of it more than a draft, more of like a list making exercise, but the list options get whittled as you go through them.
Yes.
I guess if you want to look at it that way. So we decided, no holds and no rules are barred. So tonight we're doing Survivor Series teams. It has to be Survivor Series teams that were part of a classic Survivor Series style match. So in the spirit of Survivor Series, elimination match.
Look, the Heavenly Bodies and the Rock and Roll Express are a classic match,
correct,
but not a classic elimination match.
Classic as it gets. You can base your decision on whatever you want it to be. If you want cool name, cool look, success in the match, like whatever you want it to be, you could be. So this is just our list of the best Survivor Series teams in elimination matches. So we're going to have producer Tim flip a coin to determine who goes first. But from here on out, every month, we're one coin flip. That will determine the future of all of our drafting, because every month we do this is going to alternate after this one. So producer Tim's coin that he carries around all the time, he told us, is dictating who goes first.
Who's first? My heart can't take it.
He knows if it's you. I'm just going to lose my fucking mind. So he's trying to set it up.
My heart. Am I going to get up on stage with a tie?
Yeah, of course. What the fuck? I'm out. What a shock.
I picked Jive Soul Bro.
What a shock.
Good. Look, there's really good choices. There's really good choices here for everybody.
No, there's a lot.
I think
I'm okay.
I think I kind of thought back and forth if I was first or second, because the second one gets the wraparound, right? So you get two good
Yes.
ones. So I think we're pretty safe no matter what. But there's one that I knew I had to take because, I mean, it's just it's everything I love about professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice tag team. It's got two guys that are friends in real life and they love each other. And they fucking kick ass in the match. I'm going 1989 Rude's Brood. I want Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Jacques and Raymond, and
Le Mans.
yeah,
I
it
know
was
you're not
between
French.
that and something else, but ultimately my heart is always going to go Rude's Brood.
Yeah, they were in my top 3. So I'm taking the other 2 that I had there. But Rude's Brood is a great pick. I mean, the name is amazing. It may be the best pure. There's one later, but it's one of the best pure work rate teams, especially in that
Oh
era.
yeah,
89.
yeah.
You're probably not going to get much better in the ring.
No,
Maybe if you had like the Brainbusters and Bret Hart and Macho Man or something as a team, but as a believable option as a team as you're going to get. And it's just Rude with the tights.
I know.
Aces on the trunk, say it all. Who will survive and who will perish or whatever.
Yeah, it's that classic promo like with him. And Mr. Perfect wins the match.
Yes.
So they're also successful against Roddies, who are a terrible team. Like, I mean, I'm glad they're in the match, but like Piper, Snuka, and the Bushwhackers.
Yeah. It works so that it's a bunch of insane people.
Yes.
What doesn't work is the Piper Snuka thing, right? They're supposed to be hated rivals.
Yes.
But the pre-match promo from them is equally as amazing with the eating the turkey and
yes, they're the ones that are eating. I always get that
and bones and bones and big bones
right.
and bones and bones. We're
Like,
wild, we're bold, we don't do what we're told. Like that's
right.
And they're like in some random stairwell. Like, it's such an odd promo, but it works really well.
The only promo that's odder than that is the fucking Sergeant Slaughter one that's like 15 minutes.
Oh god.
At 90 in the aisle. Are you picking them, by the way? The Mercenaries?
It's like, and you got like Sato standing back there watching. Like, so fucking stupid. All right. So I'm gonna go my 2 picks here. I'm excited. I'm gonna go one with star power and then one that's just like along the lines of Rude Brood, where it's just like an amazing team.
Mm-hmm.
So my star power team is going to be my first pick, and I'm going to go with Team Alliance from Invasion, which is Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Kurt Angle, and the greatest pugilist in wrestling history, Shane McMahon. I love this team. Look at that. Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle. Like, that is a loaded team. Booker T, it's peak heel Austin, RVD at his peak in WWF as a heel. Booker T is great during this era. Angle as the mole, Shane as the sacrificial lamb. A fantastic team loaded with stars in a great main event.
Yeah, that was in my top 3 also. So
yeah, you wouldn't think something out of the Alliance would be like the best ever, but I think there's an argument that you could have them 1 easily on this list.
Oh,
like if I had number 1 pick, I think I was taking them. Yeah, I think I was taking them.
Yeah. I look, my top 3 were all a toss up. I just went with my heart, I guess. But you forget that that's a Survivor Series elimination match almost.
Yes.
And the team on the other side is interesting too. Like,
yeah,
like I wouldn't say it's near my top, but it's hovering.
I'm curious where your direction goes, as I could tell you without spoiling much. Like, where mine are all going to be. Like, you're not going to see much post, 2000s. like I'm just like Survivor Series to me is like classic Survivor Series. Like, I'm not interested in the 95th match of the, Lucha Dragons. Like, I'm sure there's great teams, but it's like, nah, give me like the classic star power, like the Survivor matches that had a purpose with the different feuds. Like, give me that. You know what I mean? 100%. Yeah. So that said, right along those lines, my second pick, we're going to go to 1991 for the opener, and that is Ric Flair, the Mountie, the Warlord, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Like, I love this team. The idea of Flair and DiBiase together is so cool. You have some cool people at ringside. You got Sherry, I believe is out there with DiBiase, right? Yeah, you got Sherry DiBiase. You got Jimmy Hart with the Mountie. You got was Slick gone? Is it Harvey by then? I think it's Harvey.
It's Harvey.
and you got Perfect with Flair, Bobby in the booth, Flair's pay-per-view debut. Just him and DiBiase together is a cool team as well. The Mounties, just fun during this time period. The Warlord is in his best stretch, I think, right? In 91, he has the match with the Bulldog.
Get him in there with Davey again.
He's good in this match with Davey.
He's great.
And they have a great opponents as well, which I think we'll get to, maybe a worthy pick too. But Flair, the ultimate Flair moment, right? Like everyone else gets counted out, and he's the only dope in the ring standing there because he was beat up so much. It's a low key, nice
except
setup
for one man.
Right, it's a good setup for the Rumble, right? Where the Rumble is him just getting the shit kicked out of him, but he just keeps surviving and hanging on. This is like a prelude. We should have known it was coming because he does the same thing here. He's like a cockroach that just hangs on as everyone else just beats the shit out of each other, and he's laying there as the victor. So yeah, I've always loved this team. I think it's just a tremendous, tremendous team. And I'll say this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
So in 2014, Scott Criscuolo and I on the Place to Be podcast ranked to that point all 132 Survivor Series teams, and these were the top 3 on that ranking. So,
nice.
This consisted. We had the Alliance, we had the Roots Brood, and then this is our top 3. So I think it's kind of cool that all these years later, you and I picked the same top 3 as 10 years ago.
Well, look, I will say Flair's team is a bit lower on mine, but I can't argue the pick. Like I love it. And I don't know if you felt this way. So like my fandom started in late 87, and then Piper comes back in 89, and I never really got it. I was like, oh, okay, Piper, This match made me get it because he's so good with Flair. Like their chemistry is just off the charts. So I watched this match a million times as a kid. I love that team. Great stuff. I'll always like the event too because of that match, even though the rest of the card is shaky. So as my second pick, I feel very fortunate right now that my number 2 overall has fallen to me, because this is a pick based not on the match, because I think the match is really not that great, but just in terms of star power and who's in it. And not to seem like someone who's just sticking to 1 year, but I'm going to go to 1989. Give me the Hulkamaniacs. Give me Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake Roberts, Axe and Smash, Demolition. To me, like maybe the biggest star power team ever at that point. And what's crazy is that Roberts and Axe and Smash kind of out pop Hogan a bit in that. And seeing them all come down is great. The match itself, like I said, I don't enjoy. But in terms of pure 80s star power, I don't think it gets much stronger than this.
No, I think it's like the ultimate face Survivor Series team of all time. It's like the biggest stars of 1989 outside of Ultimate Warrior. Jammed into one match. But I mean, Demolition, I think I've talked about this on a million shows, right? Demolition is like the world champion main event level of the tag division.
Yeah.
Jake is probably 1B to the Ultimate Warrior in the IC division or the mid card division. And by this point, Warriors are almost like 1B main eventer, and Jake is kind of the top mid card guy. So you really have like the top dog, the top mid card guy, and the all time top tag team on one team.
Yeah. And it's weird because you wouldn't expect them to get along, but they do.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to cross check with where Scott I had it, because I think it is interesting to see years later how things hold up. And we actually had this at 25th, which seems crazy. I'd have to like listen back to that show and see why we're so low on it. But
maybe you were factoring in the match because the match is bad. Like,
yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Like Roots Brood, we have second. That match is okay.
But I actually think Roots Brood is actually it's a very good match. Like I love the way it moves. I love the story it tells. Whereas this one, like everybody gets DQ'd, right? And then to the point where Jesse is like yelling at the ref for like, come on, this is bullshit. Like, but anyway, I love it. Now I'm kind of, I was sure you're going to take the Hulkamaniacs. So now I got to make a tough decision. But I'm going to go with my board. I'm going to go with my board because why the hell not? I made it this way for a reason. I'm going to duck down to 1987. And I feel I have my main event pretty well set, but I'm going to take the mid-card match. And I'm going to take the opener with the team that has Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, Jim Duggan, Brutus Beefcake, and we're going to repeat Jake. Yeah. But Number one, it sets the stage for all the Survivor Series matches that come after it. Number two, it was like all the guys that Honky Tonk Man fucked over, all coming back to try and murder him.
Yes,
And then
which
they
is a
do
great
murder
thread.
him.
Yeah.
They beat the shit out of him that whole match. I actually think the match is great too. I'm pretty sure I have it ranked at 4 stars a match, or like 3 3/4, something like that. Like I love it all together, and I love just collecting. This is such a cool face team. Like Savage and Steamboat reluctantly working together. I mean, you can kind of crap on Duggan and Beefcake, but they're so over right here. So it almost doesn't matter. And Jake's Jake. So I'm pretty happy to get this in round 3.
Yeah, I mean, so in 2013 we had it 6th, so right around there for sure. And I'm with you. It's an awesome team. It's just so loaded with star power in the upper mid card, and all those guys are super over. Duggan's right in the middle of the feud with Race, which is really cool too.
That's right. Race on the other side as well.
Yeah, and you got all the guys like you said that have been egreged by Honky, all coming to kick his ass and run him off.
Yeah,
it's an awesome team. I'm going to stick in 87. The match that the team I thought you may take, so I'm going to take it now, just in case. But I'm going with the heel side of the main event, which is
it's great.
Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, One Man Gang, Rick Rude, and Butch Reed. Just an amazing collection of top level heels from that era.
Yeah.
Andre getting the win is really cool.
And Bam Bam, you got Bam Bam's little hope spot, right?
Yes, and just Andre, Bundy, and Gang in there is like awesome. Just awesome visual. You got little Rick Rude, who looks tiny next to all these guys. Bobby and his Heenan family peak. So yeah, that match is great, and that team is great. I have them. I've always been ranked very high.
I love that Andre wins. I think it's so good.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna. I got 2 here, and I'm really nervous. You may take one of them, but I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go to the year later, Survivor Series 1988, and I'm going pure, just talent, depth, and impressiveness for this one. So I'm going to the tag match with the Powers of Pain, the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, the British Bulldogs, and the Young Stallions. Like that is, when you ever gonna get that collection of like tag team, talent again in a match? Like they're just loaded with stars, like Davey Boy Smith, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Warlord. like you just got some awesome, and it's a great storyline in the match with the Powers of Pain, Demolition Heel, double turn. It's a Bulldog swan song as well in there. So I don't know. It's just such a cool team. And again, that we had that 8th in 13.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like that pick. I was on my list, a bit lower, but I love that. I love both those matches. I think I prefer I think we've talked about this today. I think
87 is the better match, but I think this team of all 4 teams is like, to me, the most loaded of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only trouble you run into in that, the Bulldogs are like Dynamite's kind of cooked, right?
Yeah,
like that's the only. I'm not saying it hurts the pick or anything, but just in terms of the match, like that's where you might feel a little let down by the match.
Don't they? I think on the Coliseum they even get clipped. Their eliminations clipped. I don't think they're even. I think their eliminations not even on the tape.
Fuck the Bulldogs. All right. Well, leaving me with some interesting choices to make. Trying to figure out if your post 2000 is a mindfuck game or a real admission. Let's play a bit. All right. Well, look, let's go safe with the next one. I'm gonna go with another team full of stars. Maybe I'll even match them up against the Hulkamaniacs and see what happens. But I'm gonna do from 1990. I'm gonna take the Warriors. I'm gonna take the Ultimate Warrior, Kerry Von Erich, Hawk, Animal, the modern day Warrior, Kerry Von Erich.
That's why I love the name is so perfect that they're all Warriors. It's like, and it's almost like another version of what you just took in 89. But when you look at it from a territorial lens, like Ultimate Warrior is the top WWF guy, Legion of Doom are the top NWA/AWA guys, Kerry Von Erich the top world class guy, and they've all converged into this one team.
Yeah, I love it. Does Kerry does he paint his face?
No,
he must. No,
No, I don't think so.
What a joke! He should have painted his face. Anyway,
he's probably high.
Near death. I even like the match. I mean, the match is kind of a squash against Demolition and whatnot. And I kind of wish that I thought about picking Perfect and Demolition, but I don't know. It's nowhere near as cool as these Warriors. Plus, I get LOD on my card. Okay, for my second one, I'm going to roll the dice and go a bit lower on my list, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to take the Visionaries, also from 1990. Martel, Warlord, Hercules, Roma. I love that they go, they run the gamut. They just run through the whole of their team. I love Martel during this era is so good for me. And I love Power and Glory, so I'm happy to pick them up.
Yeah, so in 2013, we had that at 24, and I think the other one 38.
Okay.
So, again, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Just kind of where they were at that point in our lives. The Visionaries are awesome. The first team to ever fully survive. Martel trolling Jake, with the contact lens and the everything. Great finish, too, where they run Martel off. Jake runs him off the snake. He gets counted out. And Slick and his boys just kind of standing there and preen. The Power and Glory hit an awesome powerplex in that match.
That's right.
They then hit one later in the night that Hulk Hogan kicks out of, and I argue it was the end of them as a threat. Hulk Hogan blowing out of that move. But Warlord, again, looks really good there, too. So it's a great team with a great name that plays into the storyline so well.
That's right.
All right.
And here you were talking about only picking 2000s, and I've only picked 99 and 90 and lower.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. God, I got like 5 I want to take here. All right. I am going to jump ahead and take a really good heel team. In what I think is one of the last truly great Survivor Series matches in 2003, and that is Team Bischoff with Chris Jericho, Christian, Scott Steiner, Randy Orton, and Mark Henry. Just a great badass heel team. That match is great. Sean with the epic blade job. Orton gets his first of a streak of Survivor Series Sole Survivor wins. I like Henry during this little blip too, where he comes back as just kind of the badass for that little stretch before he gets hurt again. Steiner, when they finally let him be heel with Test bullying Stacy, was great. like, oh yeah, this guy's a fun asshole. We should let him be a heel.
Yeah, we should just let him be this asshole.
Why not? It works well. And of course, Jericho and Christian are just completely dialed in during this point. And Orton, really, this is like his come up stretch, is the fall of 03, where he starts to really develop into 04. So a match and a team I've always been fond of. All right. This next one now, I'm between like nostalgia, but then like a really cool badass team. So I'm going to go with the cool badass team and hope my nostalgia pick makes it to the next round. So I'm going to go to 2000 and take the Radicals. Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn. That match is a clinic where they just completely dismantle their opponents. Who is it? Is it Billy, Road Dogg, K-Quick, and I forgot who else is in there, but they just completely picked them apart. They had, I think they all survive, right? I think they fully survive. And this is during the time where like Triple H is paying them to be like hired assassins, which is cool. China. Yeah, China. Thanks, Tim. China was a 4th person in that match. So just a really cool spectacle. And we talked a bit about it in our previous episode of No Holds Barred on the title changes, about how the Radicals are kind of treated when they come in Benoit. And it feels like this was like a reintroduction of how great the rest of them were. Not just Benoit. Like, we're like, oh, Saturn, Malenko, and Eddie are really cool too. And here's a reminder that it's going to destroy this fucking team for you, for your pleasure. I think Benoit, he beats Billy Gunn like in a fucking beatdown the next month too, I think, to win the IC belt. So.
Takes the IC from him, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Nice. Okay, well, 2 for me then. I'm going to go a little strange with this one, but I think I need a good heel team, and I think I found it. It's from 2009. I'm going to take Team Randy Orton, which is Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Ted DiBiase Jr., and William Regal. This feels like a really cool hybrid of like every heel that's good in that era and Ted DiBiase Jr. I mean, Orton is like completely clicking at this point. Orton is one of those guys who, as I've watched back, I've grown so much of an appreciation for. CM Punk is CM Punk. He's great from the time.
And he's on the verge of he's good in this run, right? This is the straight edge run. He's about to start the straight edge society. But he's already kind of doing his preachy shit that he started with Jeff Hardy. So it's creeping in.
Yeah, William Regal's at the end of his run, but he's still great, so he can still
Yeah.
go. And I love the storyline of Legacy. I always have. So
Mhm.
I think it's a cool pick. I know they lose to Kofi, which I think is also almost a feather in the cap for it because
Yeah.
it's one of the few times Orton loses at the Survivor Series.
Mhm.
So that'll be them for me. And then for my next pick, I'm gonna go again with a bit of a strange one. I'm gonna go to 1995, and I'm gonna take Shawn Michaels,
Yeah, that's a
Psycho
good one.
Sid, Ahmed Johnson, and Davey Boy Smith in the wild card match. I mean, look, my feelings on Sid have been crystallized across many podcasts. I believe this is his only Survivor Series match.
Yeah.
That's not why I picked it. I just find it's fun and interesting and different, and I like the idea of this team. Like Sid, Shawn, and Ahmed are kind of like 96 WWF.
Yeah.
Right.
I love
And
Bulldog celebrating with them after too. Like he's such an odd fit. It's really funny. And Ahmed slams. Right. Does he slam Yoko in the match? I think too. Like this is like his debut, so it's a big moment.
Yeah. And they beat up all Davey's friends, which I think is like,
and he's celebrating the win. It's so good.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. That was actually on our the PTV list. That was 9th. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we had that as a 9th best team at the time. All right, I'm going to sneak in my nostalgia pick now that I talked about earlier. That's the Teamsters from 1994.
Oh, okay.
Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Jeff Jarrett, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart. This is like my bread and butter nostalgic time as a fan.
Yeah.
Survivor Series 93 and 94. I ordered as birthday gifts from my parents, had friends over to watch and did like a sleepover. And this is just my era. Like I was such a Shawn Michaels and Diesel mark. I loved Owen. Like this had all my guys, and it is the color scheme looks cool. All the pink, even Jarrett's kind of got the pink on, and then it leads to a major breakup in the Diesel turn right at the end. Diesel finally has enough, and Shawn throws the tag titles in the trash. They're up 5-1. Diesel destroys everyone in the match, and they end up losing because they all walk away as Diesel stalking Shawn. So, just a cool team. It's similar, I think, in the vein of like the Rude's Brood type of stuff. Just like a cool team of like heels that came together that all kind of a similar style. All right.
I struggled with a lot of like a couple of the early 80s teams because there was always that one guy on the team and in this one it was Neidhart. Not that he wasn't part of it, but I was like, but it's still a great team.
If there's ever an era of Neidhart of like being something, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, they really push him as a catalyst, like driving Owen, And Owen, I mean, it's a big night for him too, because him and Bulldog have the towel stuff later. So, all right. I am going to jump back into the 2000s for my next pick, and we're going to go to 2006 for Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, and the Hardy Boys. Another full team survivors. And I remember being shocked because their opponents were really good. Like this is a well-built match, and I could not believe that they waxed them the way they do. But I liked it because it felt unpredictable. It's a big moment for Punk's evolution as well. That they elevate him into this slot with these guys. The
crowd chants for him the whole time.
Yes, it's in Philly, right? So they're into him. Yeah. And the Hardys had just come back together too. So it was like a big moment for them to like be reunited with DX as like the two, kind of top stars of that era, or groups of stars, I should say. So this is always a team that stood out to me as top notch.
No, I love that one. That was high on my list, and I was kind of leaving it. And as soon as I picked Michaels in the wild card match, I'm not like, and Punk in the Orton one, I'm not aiming to not repeat, but it felt less important to get it. But no, that was high on my list. Where did that finish on yours? Like on Scott and Hughes?
It was high. 13.
Yeah, I think I had it 5th.
Yeah.
But it just, with the rest of the card I was building, made less sense each time.
Right.
Okay. Woof. Okay. All right. Let's do something different then. This is a pick from a card where I think there's only one good match on the card, and this is the match. And I think it's actually bordering on a great match. It's from 2013, and I'm going to take the Shield and the Real Americans as a team. There's Reigns, Ambrose, Rollins, Cesaro, and Jack Swagger. And I know Jack Swagger is kind of like the weak link of this team, but he's still really good. And this was the Reigns like really coming out. This is where he destroys everybody on the other team. He spears everybody, pins them one by one. But I wanted to have the modern time represented a little bit. And it made a lot of sense that, like, I mean, what represents the WWE modern time more than the Shield? I don't think anything does or can, right?
And the Real Americans are great. I mean, Cesaro and Swagger,
yeah,
really good team. So that fits well. And yeah, I mean, Shield 13 is like hard to top.
Yeah, no, I love it. And for my next pick,
it's tough. This is still like a lot of great teams.
I know there's still a bunch. Fuck it. I'm gonna take the.
I got one in my mind that I'm afraid you might be on your radar.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take. Fuck it. I'll take the other side of that 2001 team. Rock, Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show.
Yeah, that's loaded. I mean, it's a great team.
Yeah, I mean, it was always high up, and it almost feels like a cop-out pick in a lot of ways. But the star power is just so crazy with Rock, Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, and even Big Show. Why am I saying Big Show is great too, right? So, no, I'm happy with that. It means I'm going to give up something else, but it is what it is.
We had a 15th in 2013. I mean, it's a star power team and a great angle. In the big main event, Rock and Austin at the end. Like you get Jericho teasing the heel turn. It's as loaded as it gets. Great value at 9. All right, so
would you have taken it? You think one of your last two?
Yeah, probably.
It's so hard not to. That's the thing.
It was in the conversation. Yeah, it was in my mind. I think because I took the other end of it, I may not have, and I'm trying to kind of like focus on some nostalgic stuff. But
sure,
which I'm going to do with my next one. So I'm going to 1988. I love my heel teams. You can see that fluttering throughout my card because I would have definitely taken Rude's Brood at some point. I've taken the Flair one, the Andre one, the Radicals, the Teamsters. Like, they love these jacked up heel teams. So I'm going to go with Andre the Giant, Mr. Perfect, Dino Bravo, Rick Rude, and Harley Race. I mean, just an Andre Mark from that period, and like him just squashing everyone, sitting on Tito and like suffocating the fuck out of him to win that match.
Murdering Jake.
Yeah, just destroys him. Perfect, had just really started to come into his own in the company. I think it's him, Andre, and Rude. Oh no, Bravo, of course.
Bravo survives.
Bravo always ride the coattails.
Andre gets DQ'd.
That's right. So it's Perfect, Rude, and Bravo. Rude loses, right? He gets DDT'd.
Yeah.
Does Race?
It's Perfect and Bravo.
Oh, okay. So it's the two of them. All right.
Because I think what happens is Andre just says fuck it and decides to choke Jake until he's dead.
Yeah.
And then he's dead, and then I think Perfect just slides in and pins him.
Yeah. No, it's a great heel team for sure, of a great era. All right. So we got that, and now my last one. I'm like, there's so many fun ones I just want to take.
I know.
Just trying to decide again if I want to go like star power, if I want to go like importance, performance, or just go like favorite team. Because I got a few. All right, I feel like one era I haven't really hit is the late 90s. So I think I'm just gonna mix it up and go there. There's a couple I know I'm leaving on the table that I really like, but all right, I'm gonna go to 97, and I'm gonna go Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, and the Legion of Doom, which I think is just like a super badass team. I like them here, and then again at No Way Out when they kind of bring that team back for the 5-man. Me, I'm like the biggest Shamrock fan, so like him leading this team during the feud with The Rock that's like kicked off in 97 that rages through early 98. Ahmed was still pretty cool, and he looked amazing in this match. And LOD in 97 I like too. So this is like when I think of this team, I think of like gritty, red. They're all in black and red, and
That's right.
their feud with the Nation was one I think it's like the best Nation stuff. I know everyone likes like
Yeah.
Nation DX but I love back end Gang Wars Nation
Yeah.
when the DOA and Barricos are out of the way, and it's just them versus like Shamrock and his LOD and his buddies. Like that's like my favorite Nation.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, that was a good pick. Fuck, now I have to do this bullshit, right? So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to leave on the board. My highest ranked match on the board, I'm going to leave. It's Team SmackDown from 2016. It's Styles, Wyatt, Ambrose, Orton, Shane. I love that match. I'd love to get AJ Styles on, but I love that Reigns spears Shane and Orton has to go tell his kids he's okay. Might be my favorite modern WWE moment. So I love that. I'm really thinking hard about Piper's team from 91. This is the advantage of going last.
So that was one I think that I was close to taking. Again, if I didn't have the other side, I may have. That one, just for context, went 7th. I think it's the highest one that we didn't pick from the PTB list.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the only top 10 we didn't take.
Yeah, I mean, I feel so when I look at my list too, like, and here I'm going to use this as my explanation. So I got a lot of heels and I got a lot of like anti-heroes or assholes, right? Like, I don't have a lot of pure faces, except I guess Ricky Steamboat. But even then, he's teaming with Savage and Jake, who are dark.
The Warriors are kind of sneaky pure. Those
yeah,
guys were
they all have a bit of an edge. So I'm going to go. I'm just going to go pure heart on this one. I'm going to go from one of my favorite matches of all time. This is probably a stupid pick, but I don't care. I love them. I'm going to go to 87, and I'm going to take Strike Force's team. Which is Strike Force, the Bulldogs, the Bees, the Stallions, and the Rougeaus. It's just pure babyface team. And I love that match. I mean, I don't think it's one of the greatest matches of all time, but it's certainly one of my favorites. I love that it ends up with the Bees and the Stallions winning. Like
it's a memorable moment.
And I mean, I love the star. It can't quite compare to the star power of the Powers of Pain. I thought about taking the demo team in opposition, because you get demos, the Busters, the the Rouge, you get the Conquistadors and the Bolsheviks you have to deal with, right? But I figured I got the demos and everything in other picks, so this makes a lot of sense for me. And whatever, it fucks my draft, I'm good with it.
No, it's a great pick. It's a great match. It's remembered well. All right, let's talk some honorable mentions. I'm going to name a few toward the top end of this list, and let me know your thoughts. So that was the Piper one we talked about was the highest we did not take. Another one I had in contention from a nostalgia point of view is 93. Luger, Undertaker, and Steiners is a cool team. Undertaker opens the robe and he's got the old school, flag in it, and just the Steiners being in that setting is really neat. Like them and Luger as a team is cool. Here's producer Tim's honorable mentions. That was the one we just said. All Americans. Big Show on his own in 99. Who's SmackDown in 17? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Me? No, absolutely not.
I can look quick.
I can look at quick here. I got it here. SmackDown 2017 is
Shane, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Nakamura, and Cena.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I think there's probably a lot from like 17, 18, 19 in there where like all these big stars were on it. I had no, to me, if I can't remember it in a project like this, where we're doing it kind of like to capture the essence of Survivor Series, I want the teams that remind me of Survivor Series. Like,
and they're all going to be early.
Well,
because Survivor Series is one of those concepts that, like, I love the concept. I wish they kept it more, but like for me, it was special when it was just the teams.
Yeah.
Now with the network, I wish they would just do it that way. You don't need a title match to sell the show anymore, right?
No.
And I always loved that. And this has been a long held thing that I've thought about this and King of the Ring, is that it's a great opportunity to build storylines in the match.
Yeah.
Because you just have so many guys out there. You want to pivot guys. There's ways you can build it into the match that make total sense, right?
Right. I think one could have been maybe those 2014 teams, right? With Dolph,
I looked at them.
The Sting one.
Yeah, it's because you look at them and it's like, okay, the Dolph one's got Rowan and Ryback on it.
Right.
Right. and then the other one's got 2014 Mark Henry. Not that I'm saying anything bad about Mark Henry, but
No.
you know, like there's always something. The ones that I considered was in 2019. You had 2 NXT teams.
Oh
You
yeah.
had Ciampa, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, and Keith Lee. And then for the women, if you wanted to do, I was trying to find a place for the women. You got Ripley, Belair, LeRae, Shirai, and Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Like that might have been a cool one as a as an off the board pick. One I was surprised you didn't take is a 2003 Team Angle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Angle, Benoit, Cena, Holly, and Bradshaw. That feels like right up your alley.
It was higher on this list too. It was 26th on this list. So, you know, there's the other big tag teams from 87 and 88, the two we didn't mention. I almost took the main event team from 88, DiBiase, the Twin Towers, Haku, and Rooster. I love the Twin Towers. The other flip side of 03 is a good one too. Shawn, Booker, RVD, and the Dudleys. That's a really good team, and you get the Shawn performance as part of it. And then I also like the 93 opener, Razor, Kid, Jannetty, and Savage.
That was on my list too.
Good one. Yeah.
The perfect partner. He was so perfect he didn't come.
Tag out before the match even begins.
One
sneaky one I wasn't really close to taking, but I like is 94 Heels, the $1 Million Team. It's such a random team, but it's cool. Tatanka, Bigelow, Bundy, and the Heavenly Bodies. It's like a poor man's version of the 87 team with Andre and gang and stuff. Like just a couple of big boys, a random team, and then fucking Tatanka. Which is just, again, you could say I gravitate to these heel teams. And then another heel team I think worth a mention, Savage, Bravo, Valentine, Earthquake in 89.
Really King's
cool.
Court?
Yeah. Savage in the purple.
I also toyed with the idea of taking Hogan Warrior Tito Santana. It's just such a power. There's no the universe can't contain that.
The Hulkamaniacs, the Warriors, that Arrivederci, as he says in the
and I was toying too between, do I take the Visionaries or do I take the Visionaries with Ted?
Yeah, that would have been a nice little play. But they get beaten down pretty good. You're better off with the power. All right, well that was a lot of fun. Let us know what teams we missed that you would have included. I'm sure we'll get a ton of modern ones, which is fine. Like I think we were pretty clear with our thoughts on why we didn't take many. To me, these are Survivor Series. So, all right, we'll be back next week with our next World Title Change Project episode. So that's No Mercy 2000. 2 weeks from today, we will be here with our December Build-A-Card. So we're going through every December Dirty pay-per-view and building the ultimate card. 3 weeks, we'll be back with another title change. That'll be No Way Out 2001. And then a month from today will be another draft. So that's our rotation on No Holds Barred. Every week we're here. But that's our rotation. So our draft is going to probably keep toward the monthly theme. So we'll come up with a good one for December.
My favorite Christmas presents.
Only we'll do our best TLC performers. I don't know those.
Super Nintendo.
All right. So that's it. Check out everything we have to offer. North South Connection, video and audio, YouTube, and all podcast applications. You can subscribe. Follow us on social media. The Dookie is dropped. You have been drafted. We are out. Goodbye.
Bye, Jock.